Xero news on the rise, bringing wrestling to our eyes. WWE, AW in the spotlight, never telling us a lie. Accurate in every report, fans cheering into light. Xero news, our guiding light in the wrestling fight. Covering the ring with precision, no indecision. Xero news, our source of truth, bringing wrestling updates, never uncouth. In the world of WWE and AEW, Xero news shines through.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the EVP Xero Show. My name is Xero as normal. How are we guys today? And how are you, CJ?
What's going on, everybody? It has been 2 weeks. I am the EVP from DKO and the main event team. I'm so glad to be back. I feel refreshed and I'm ready to. We're almost there. We're almost to WrestleMania, so let's get it going.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Yes. So we were talking about that anyway, about WrestleMania. But before we do, obviously go into that, we've been off. Yeah, like what CJ said, we have been off for 2 weeks. So yeah, time to get the show back on the road and time to get things going on. So let's get right into it. So some news came down today. Then about Trick Williams. Apparently, he is going to be a guest star. He's going to be set for a guest star role in All American. Now, I don't know what All American is. I don't know whether you know. Do you know what All American is or whatever? I don't know.
I have no idea.
No. If anyone in the comments knows, please fill me in because I have no clue what what All American is. So if anyone can sort of fill us in on that, then that would be nice and handy. I will just say as well before we carry on, as per normal, if you do wish to get involved with the show, put a comment in the comment section and we will bring you up on the, we'll basically ask questions and stuff like that as it goes along. So first of all, I will say, first comment that's actually in there is from Gwen Anderson and it just says, let's get this show on the road. Absolutely. Let's get this going basically. So obviously we spoke about the Trick Williams thing. Now the main bits of news now at the moment then is WrestleMania, as we know. So it's come down from WrestleVotes that apparently we are planned to have 14 or 15 matches on the card. Now I think there's 10 so far announced.
11.
Is it 11? We'll go through the actual card in a bit. I just wanted to obviously get through this because we're going to turn this into a bit of a prediction space in as obviously we're sort of close as well. A bit of a prediction sort of show as well as we go along. Obviously there's been a couple of things that have come down which let me just find it a minute. So it says even though everyone fought it, the Street Profits will be defending their tag titles on SmackDown next week instead of actually at WrestleMania. So obviously, so they're doing that SmackDown Mania. So that's obviously one that we can take off the card there. They've also announced today, obviously, McIntyre versus Priest. That's now been made official. They are also then saying we're getting the New Day versus War Raiders. That's the other one as well. I don't understand why that match is making the card. I mean, okay, maybe maybe that one there, but that one could have also been on a weekly show. And also Priest versus To Be Determined. Randy Orton versus To Be Determined. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about that one, and we'll go through that, and obviously we'll get a couple of things up in the comments about that. Who do we think is Randy facing? I mean, before we do get into this, though, Nick Aldis has said today that he will be addressing Randy's attack on him tomorrow live on SmackDown. So that's obviously that way. And I mean, it could look like it is going to go sort of, to me, it could be Aldis. But I personally think the best way for them to do it would be have him inserted into Cody Randy. Have him inserted into Cody Cena, because in that way, then that's the third person there, and you can then turn that main event on the Sunday night then into a triple threat, meaning that it's no disqualification. Because at the minute, if you think about it, that Sunday night match, all these people have been dreaming up like, oh my god, these people are coming out, like, oh my god, Stone Cold's going to get involved, oh my god, this person's going to get involved, oh my god, this person's going to get involved. It's a one-on-one, and if anyone gets involved, that's a no DQ. That's disqualification, and that's the people can basically so people will basically end up getting sort of, well, the ruling obviously is behind it is if somebody comes out to try and help Cena, then Cody instantly retains the title. Cena will officially win the match, but Cody will still walk out with the title, and vice versa. If anyone gets disqualified, it's champion's advantage. That's the thing. So they either have to make that a no DQ match by the time it comes to basically next week, or they need to turn it into a triple threat match to be able to make it a no DQ match, in my eyes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's unfortunate for KO. He's worked really hard, but if it was me, like, I've heard the rumors of Aleister Black. I've heard the rumors of possibly Miro. For me, like, obviously I'd love to see Aleister and Randy, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense because you really don't want either one of them to lose. We were kind of talking about this before we went on air, but that would be his first match back. Randy has got to have some momentum going into Backlash, maybe in his hometown. For me, they either put him into the main event, which I don't know if they're going to do that because at the end of the day, like, The Rock's on the board and he's with Cena, so like he could make it to where like it's no DQ if he really wanted to, because Cena was not supposed to appear at all again, and now they're saying that he's going to be on the last SmackDown before Mania. My safest bet with Randy to make sure that, like, he can still get a win is Randy and Aldis. Like, he just RKO'd him. I think that makes the most sense.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. It should be that match and stuff, and I can see it maybe potentially becoming that match. But at the end of the day, it's like, would they want to do? To me, it's much better putting them into the main event of night 2 because obviously it's going to be difficult. I mean, The Rock, like what you said, could easily come out and say, like, I'm making it no disqualification on the Sunday night, but with it being a one-on-one match, it's going to go either way. That basically whoever wins that match is going to win that match clean, and whichever person does that, basically, it's going to hurt the other person big time in my eyes. And that, so if WWE are clever, they would make it a triple threat on that Sunday evening. Personally, that's what I hate to say, but that's my personal opinion on that one.
I mean, because we know the Cody Cena match is going to have some crazy stuff go on. I mean, if we see some sort of turn by Cody, Rock could come out there and act like he's going to help Cena, or Cody could just beat Cena. and then Rock just say, okay, like you suck, like we're done, and like he turns on Cena, and that could like eventually, or that could like push towards Cena going back as a face, because everybody's like, oh, Cena's winning, and he's gonna face Randy at Backlash, and he's gonna have a long heel championship run. He ain't. Like it's not happening.
No. He's I'm gonna hate to say this, but I personally do believe that Cody's walking out of WrestleMania as champ. That's what I'm gonna go for. And I know a lot of people are gonna hate that, but you don't turn Randy heel now. No, you don't do that. Well, you don't give him the title as heel and everything. And a lot of other people out there agree with that. Is you don't strike now and give him the title whilst he's a heel. You wait until he turns back face again to give him that title. Yeah, that's how you do it in my eyes. And I don't know what anybody else thinks, but that's personally what I'm saying. That's how you do it, really.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like this bill for Cody and Cena has. I mean, the promo last week was great, but Cody held his own regardless of what people think. I'm not a Cody fan, but I am for WrestleMania. I don't like Cena. I don't want him to win because he's part-time and Cody shows up. But I just think this is one big master plan that was set like even before Elimination Chamber, because Cena still has not brought up The Rock at all. So I still feel like Cody is it just looks like he's about to go heel. Like I feel like Cody could go heel at any particular time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's personally, from what I've been hearing and from other bits pieces and that as well, I do truly believe that is coming very, very soon. Basically, that's going down. It's going to happen. Just before we move on, then there's a couple of comments as well that we need to cover. Alexis Sherman has said All American is a show on the CW about a football team and they're in college. So that's that one there. Right. So Michael plays. I feel like TKO should go off of how people feel after last year's Night 2 Mania. Like that's going to be talked about for a while, so maybe it should be an ODQ. I'll get into that shortly, Michael, because it's actually something that I'm going to bring up on that. So I will get into that. And Alexis Timana said again, a Solo, Sakura, and Jimmy Uso doing anything at Mania on the card in some kind of way. I haven't heard of anything now. It seems like they're missing Mania yet again, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's.
I think Jimmy's going to be involved in the J match. I don't know if he gets involved like physically. I think he's going to do something similar to what maybe Sami Zayn did with his wife and kid last year. Solo, I do think Solo gets physical. I think Solo ends up costing Jacob the match at WrestleMania. That's just my pick.
You think so? You think that's what's going to happen there?
I don't think Jacob wins the title. I think they got to start the Solo Jacob feud somehow, and I think we see Solo and Jacob at Backlash.
I mean, it makes sense. Really, it's it's coming. Everyone knows that match is coming and stuff. So they do need to do it around there. So I kind of agree. It's got to be done somehow, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah, because I mean, if you put the U.S. title on Jacob right now, like, who in the heck is going to beat him? Like, it's going to be there's just not enough competition for him. Like, LA Knight just needs to hold the title because he's more equivalent to like Carmelo and people like that. Like, Jacob's going to squash all those people and have like a crazy long run, and I don't think it's time yet for Jacob to win the U.S. title.
No, obviously not. Right, so going into something then that Michael Plays asked and mentioned about how TKO should go off of how people feel. Now, something quite interesting that's come down now at I can't remember what it was, but it was somewhere in Vegas, I think, this past, well, it was yesterday, Nick Khan actually done an interview, and he was there with Triple H and a couple of others. Basically, he said a lot of stuff, but just to summarize it, he made it very clear that WWE are no longer going to be listening to what social media says. And that's so basically what it is they've turned and said that even it's basically so Nick Khan made it clear that WWE will follow its own creative plans instead of changing things based on what people say on social media. Even though obviously online comments are important, WWE wants to focus on long-term storytelling. Social media is still useful for talking with fans, but it won't decide what happens on TV, and that is not going to be changing anytime soon. Now, basically that falls in line with again, a classic example of this is everyone leading into the first Raw on Netflix show was like, oh my god, we need a new stage. Oh my god, we need new, we want the coloured rope, ropes back and stuff. And TKO was basically just like, no, we're not giving you it. This is what we're giving. So I mean, it makes sense. TKO at the end of the day are a business, and I understand, yes, they're a business out for the fans, but this is what I keep saying to people is, whilst people are still buying tickets, whilst they're still selling out shows and stuff, and whilst they're still making the money, they ain't going to care. They literally do not care. They literally, they will just continue going on about it, basically.
So before I took my break, I was looking into the ticket sales. And this was just like 2 weeks ago. Like night one still had about 18,000 tickets left, and then night two was at like between 9 and 11,000 left. But also there was an interview that I think it was, and I can't remember which board member it was, but they basically just said factual. It wasn't a rumor; it was factual. That it doesn't really matter to them if they sell out, because it's just about what they're gonna make. Like, they got so much other stuff going on with Mania. Like, they want to sell out, but they don't really care. It's all up because the tickets are so high. They're making a killing.
Yeah, well, this is the thing as well, is what I've been saying is basically like they've got so much stuff in that, and they've got their fingers in so many pots in that at the moment that it doesn't really care to them. Like, they're talking about opening up a boxing league. They want to they want to get into boxing. They want to get into a load of other stuff as well. And they make their money as well from the Saudi Arabia shows. Like, Saudi shows, they get 55 million just for one show. And next year alone, they're doing 3 shows from that. So that's 150 million in the 1 year basically for that one. And then they've got this guaranteed money from Netflix. They've got the 1 billion or whatever it is from Netflix. They've also then got the TV deal from USA Network and stuff like that. It's that they don't care about it. They don't care about what the fans want. They only care about what they want to do as a business, which kind of makes sense. Like I said, yes, it's disappointing and stuff, and yes, it's obviously sort of things like that, but WWE now are not for the fans since they've been sold. And this is the thing: is loads of people are like, "Oh, but Vince McMahon was really bad for what he did and stuff." But whilst Vince was in the company, the fans, we as fans, got a lot more what we wanted, and that, and we sort of it might not seem it and stuff, but we as fans sort of he would change shows based on fan reaction, and that, and he would change shows based on social media. Whereas now we get nothing, now it's based on what TKO wants, and that basically, so that's the main thing, really.
I mean, it is ultimately TKO's decision, but as we've seen over the past few months, like Triple H went overboard with watching X and looking for leaks and changing matches and winners last minute. Because I mean, Jay was like, everybody was like, oh, it was planned for Jay to win like a long time before that. It wasn't. Like, it was literally the night of. So like, Triple H is still paying really close attention to to what people put on X. That's why I don't post anything on there.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Is like and this is what I've been saying to people for ages. Like some people are that joke around and trying to say, "Oh, leak this on X and it gets changed and stuff like that." But if you start leaking things on X and stuff, it's not great. It literally is not great the way you do it, because then like it can screw over a lot of other storylines as well, which it can screw over as well the wrestlers' storylines for it. You know, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all.
Nope.
It might be like, oh, you know, I don't really want this like you know, we don't want this match. If you put it out on Twitter, or if you put it out on Twitter and stuff like that, you know, people will WWE will look at it and change it. And it's like, yeah, that's all well and good, but then that's somebody's match who they're now not going to be having. You know, that's this is what you know. That's on there basically. Yeah. Oh, I see. We've also got Ryan in the comments as well. Like her. That's basically another comment which we'll get to in a bit. So a couple of other bits and pieces then of news then before we get actually into the Mania card and stuff. So during a interview on the Ariel Helwani show this week, Gunther was on it and he has confirmed that he has signed a new contract with WWE at the end of last year, and as part of his deal, he got a tour bus with it at his request. Now, this shows that they put a lot of trust in Gunther, and that obviously it's a respect there to what they've given him. So, do you think that potentially means that he's retaining at WrestleMania, or what? Personally, going along those lines in this new contract, you know, and
I mean,
stuff, what do you think?
I mean, I watched the full interview, and Gunther was mentioning like he was expecting to face people like Punk, Roman, Seth, somebody like that at WrestleMania, not Jay. I always said, and you did as well, if Gunther and Jay open, you know, there's always that possibility. I don't know if they're going to go that route, because I think they do it night one opening, and I don't think I don't know if they want to put a sour taste in the fans' mouth like for the rest of the show. But you also have the Roman triple threat match at the end, so they could. I mean, it's very possible that Gunther could retain, because we just saw the Jimmy storyline play out, and we saw that before when Jay faced Roman, where he threw the towel in. But yeah, I mean, it's possible that Gunther wins, but I'm still gonna go with Jay just because I think they don't want to piss they're gonna piss everybody off night two when Cena loses. So yeah, and also tell Ryan he's not winning WrestleMania tickets either. So.
Well, we'll get into that when I was going to get into that at the end. That's why I haven't mentioned it yet. So that's obviously that one there. Also, so you've already said it anyway. The next thing that I was going to come up with. So Gunther basically was expecting to face like Punk, Seth, or Roman at WrestleMania this year. Now, obviously, some of the plans originally, as what was reported, was it was meant to actually be Punk versus Gunther at one point, but then obviously plans got leaked and plans got changed and stuff like that. So this just shows you that if you sort of like, if things start getting leaked and stuff, WWE are going to change it. And this is why people need to stop leaking shit on Twitter, because that is where WWE basically have a look at everything that's on Twitter. And if they see something leaked, they're going to change it.
Yeah, there's one other thing that concerns me with this match. WWE never does things out of accident. And Gunther and Punk have faced each other 4 times over the past like month and a half at house shows. And normally when they do in house show matches, normally that means that they're going to have a big match coming up. So for me, like, I could see Gunther winning because I feel like CM Punk or Rollins, like, who's gonna, like, are you gonna put CM Punk against Jay? Like, I don't see that. I know Bronson Reed's supposed to come back, but I don't know who could go after Jay, because like Drew and all them are on SmackDown. So I mean, the house show thing definitely throws red flags out to me that Gunther could win.
Yeah, and I mean, anything's possible. This is the thing, see, is anything is literally possible with it. And, you know, I do hate to say it because I know a lot of people want Jay Nat to win, but personally, looking at it, you know, I can see CM Punk, I can see Punk facing Gunther after WrestleMania, personally.
Me too.
You know, and I mean, like, it's coming. I can sense it. And yeah, and I can see Jay unfortunately taking that loss, which is not going to be a good thing for a lot of the fans, but I can see it. I mean, hopefully he doesn't, but you never know with WWE nowadays. That's the problem. That is the absolute problem. Is, you know, you physically do not know what WWE is going to do at the end of the day, and if they want Gunther to retain, then Gunther will retain.
Well, I mean,
you know,
that feud was crap until Jimmy got involved. Like it just was. It was.
Yeah.
That's why it's not main eventing. I mean, it had no juice. So like, I think Triple H is not. I don't think he's. Besides maybe Cody Cena, I don't think he's made up his mind about any of the championship matches. Honestly, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think he has either.
I think he makes his mind up WrestleMania weekend. Honestly.
More than likely, and it would not surprise me if he does sort of make it up that weekend. Because I mean, as I've said to you, like it's very possible that is when we actually get the, you know, it's very possible that's when we get it there. Now, we've got a couple of comments in here, so let's have a look. So, WrestleMania stage, we won't get that until at least next week. We won't get anything else on that one there. And at the minute, there's a picture gone round of it being blocked off. Now, the reason behind that is Google actually held a conference in the same arena, so they've obviously had to block the stage build off so far to what they've had. So any images you see could also be part of the Google event that was going on there, because they were building up a big stage as well to go along with it. So any images there, like, you won't get anything until early next week, I would say, personally, stage wise. Let's have a look at has Triple Nose done away with the Andre Battle Royal? Yeah, I believe he has, because this the thing as well is, again, going back to the whole TKO thing, is TKO see no benefit in it. You know what? There's no benefit there from them. You know, it's just throwing everyone else on the card and just giving them something to do on that SmackDown. I mean, they could still have that match on the SmackDown, but I haven't heard anything about it, because this is the thing, is next week is going to be a hefty week when it comes to WrestleMania week. And that is going to be a hefty week. They've already got a lot of stuff there. And that, so, yeah. Gwen Anderson, are they switching the champions from SmackDown to Raw? After WrestleMania and the draft, there's going to be, some changes.
Yeah. Cody's going to Raw.
Yeah. Cody's going to Raw big time. That's the thing. I hate to say that, but Cody's going to Raw because they've got a lot of stuff that they need to sort of sort out.
I just want to say this, because obviously we're not going to do a full predictions, because we have a show next. We have our go home show next Thursday, where we will do like a full prediction when the whole card's out. But Cody Rhodes is going. I'm not going to say he's going to break Roman Reigns' record, but there are people that are tired of him, Bloodline fans, but the fans are like, he's not losing. Like I think he holds the title another year.
Yeah. Because I've actually just seen this. So Modest Music one there. Has there been any indication of when Cody is losing the title? We've literally just spoken about that one. Yeah, it seems like Cody isn't losing the title anytime soon. He's going to be going into WrestleMania. Well, this is the thing, actually. I'll go through this. So there's actually been some leaked stuff whilst we're on this subject. I was going to bring this one up later on, but I should go through this. Let me just bring this one up. So some information has come down. Let me just scroll up and get it was on here. So at the minute, the current plans are It's now been changed to Punk versus Roman at SummerSlam this year in New Jersey, obviously, and this WrestleMania will set up that match. So I personally, and again, I hate to say this, but I personally can see Roman's going to get pinned on night one. There's
Is there any possibility that Dwayne cost Roman to set up 42?
There's every possibility. There is literally every possibility going that happens. Never say never with that one. There is literally every single possibility going with that.
Well, because I keep seeing like everybody keeps thinking that Heyman's gonna end up with Seth, but I don't see it. I just don't.
No. It's Heyman's gonna have a new client by the end of WrestleMania, but it isn't gonna be Seth and it isn't gonna be Punk. I can guarantee you that now. That there's
yeah, it's
gonna be having
gonna be Cody. That's gonna be Cody, bro. We ain't done.
I mean, don't be surprised if it's like someone like sort of Cody's going to be involved in it. Let's just say so. Don't be shocked if that's if that is what happens at the end of the day.
Well, I don't think it's going to be like specifically Cody. I think it's going to be more like the final boss and Cody.
Yeah, I do believe. Yeah, we're more than likely going on that one. Right, yeah, and then so some other bits, Peter. And so at the minute, the plan's also Cody versus Orton for the title at Backlash. Obviously, so that's pretty soon after the after WrestleMania. Obviously, it's a month out, so that obviously means that that Cody is walking out of WrestleMania as champ. And quite interesting as well. This is also going around as well, and I have sort of heard little murmurs of this of Punk versus Cody at WrestleMania 42 for the title. That's the other mega match as well. So it does seem like that we are going to be doing that one, and obviously they will turn Cody heel for that match. So it'll be a heel Cody versus face CM Punk, basically. So yeah, what do you think about those ones there then? Really?
I kind of touched base with a few people when I came back and talked to some people, that I talked to outside of you for information. I was told Roman was going to kind of disappear after WrestleMania. He's going to come back sometime like late summer to start the feud with Punk for SummerSlam. I was also told, Punk Roman at SummerSlam night 2. Or maybe night 1. I don't know. It just depends on what Cody's doing. And then I was also told like Cody Punk at 42, but Cody's already going to be a heel at that point. So
that's big. I don't really know like what I think about those matches. I mean, it's going to upset a lot of people, and I understand why. But at the end of the day, it's business. That if that's what TKO want, and that's what TKO want at the end of the day, they obviously have plans for it, and that's obviously what they want to do. So I mean, are you happy about those matches? Really? Are you kind of like
me?
Sort of not, personally.
I mean, you know what I mean. Like at the end of the day, like I'm a Roman guy, but I think that we also, as content creators, we have to be open. Like I think a lot of people need to learn to let go of what happened last year at WrestleMania. I don't like Cody particularly, like the kissing the babies and the Cody movement and all that. But Cody Rhodes shows up all the time. And I think people are still hanging on to WrestleMania 40, and they hate Cody so much because he ended that reign. But I think we should all just take a step back and just be thankful that we were able to be a part of something like Roman's 1,300-day reign. Because I'm here to tell you, and this isn't me, like I'm not a full-blown source, but I'm here to tell you, like Roman's days are like he's on the back end. Like after he beats Rock, I think the bloodline stuff is done. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing is it's gonna lead that way, and I mean, I know it's obviously gonna like upset quite a lot of people there, but the reason why Roman dropped at WrestleMania 40 was he wanted to drop that title. You know, there was things out there and stuff, and and he wanted himself to drop that title, and it's like it's difficult to explain why, but it was time.
I mean, it was time.
It was time. There was a few things in that was obviously going on and stuff like that in his life, and he needed to sort of, things needed to sort of change around for him and stuff, and he needed to sort of, sort of be at home and stuff. So it was his choice to drop that title. So at the end of the day, if that was him who wanted that, then we've got to respect it. This is the thing, is we've got to respect what he wanted at the end of the day. This is the thing. And like I said, I know a lot of people that are hating on that, but it was needed. It was needed, basically. I
wanted to touch base on a comment from Modest. He said he was wondering if you can put it up on screen if you want, but I was just wondering if they have any idea. So for that, my guess would be, I don't think, I saw Gwen earlier say that we're probably not going to get Roman Rock. We are next in New Orleans. I truly believe that. The people that I feel like that could possibly beat Cody is going to be Punk or Drew McIntyre. I think those are the top two.
Yeah, I mean, that's it could be that one, but this is something that I'm going to say,
or Cena.
Well, but this is the thing: is Cena won't beat him because Cena's retiring. Cena's retiring before Cody's dropping that title, because Cody's going into WrestleMania 42 a champ. This is what I'm going to say, and I've been saying this quite a lot in the spaces and that which I've done recently, is what people need to start realizing now is the stars we have on TV now are WWE see them as kind of the past.
Mm-hmm.
After WrestleMania, with that draft, we are going to be getting a hell of a lot of NXT stars coming on up, and NXT is the future. So, if anything, they're going to do a passing of the torch moment. They're going to have Cody, the one who beat the longest reigning champ in WWE history, in WWE to date, basically, pass that torch to somebody else. And I hate to say it, but it's going to be one of the current NXT roster members. That's what I can see. So I can see it as someone maybe like an Obafemi or, someone like that. It's not going to be the things now. And I've been saying this for quite a while, is we sort of need to move on kind of from how it is now, if people get me. I don't know what you mean by that one, but if you get what I mean, but we sort of need to move on, because it's
it's never going to be the same.
It's never going to be the same. It's we're moving on to the future and stuff, and the future is what WWE want. And don't forget, Triple H basically now is in charge of main roster, and Triple H loves NXT. NXT's always been his baby as such. So
I have another.
That,
I have another two names possibly that could be Cody, Jacob Fatu, or Braun Breaker. I think either one of those two could possibly do it as well.
I mean, that is very much a possibility. That they could potentially do that. You never know. This the thing is, there's every possibility there that they could.
But John Cena. I don't really know how to word this. I still don't think John Cena wins 17. And until that happens, I'll just be proven wrong. But I think he cares more about the business, about putting people over. I think the heel turn was a last minute decision. I think they didn't have a clue what they were going to do with it. I think Triple H lied through his teeth about that. That was not pre-planned from the 1, 2, 3 that the Rock did. That was not pre-planned.
No,
I think that
true.
was to shut the dirt sheets up and try to make a big impact. If Cena wins 17, I think it's going to be closer to the end of his career, and I think it's going to be the Raw title.
You think so?
I do.
I think, yeah. I mean, well, this the thing is, and again, I've been saying this, like, Cody is not going to be beaten by Cena, no matter how many people want it. You know, see, if Cena does get that 17, heck, they can give him the 17 with the IC title. I understand it's not the World Championship. I understand it's not what anyone wants, but at the end of the day, it's what WWE want. And if that's what WWE want, that's what we're going to get. No matter how much people cry or whine or, you know, or sort of say, oh, but it's unfair, you know, we want this, we want this, we want this. WWE don't care. This is the thing. WWE don't care. TKO don't care. And Nick Khan made that perfectly clear. They don't give a shit. Excuse my language, you know. And that they don't care what the fans want. And even Cena turned around and said this, you know, WWE literally just do not care what people want. It's what WWE want at the end of the day. And that's so, you know.
There's a question that I really would love to answer that Gwen just posted, if you want to put it up. It says Cena hasn't won like forever, so how will they win against Cena benefit Cody? Basically because Cody Rhodes is John Cena 2.0. And a win for Cody, he's already beat Roman. He beat Brock Lesnar. A win for Cody against Cena is very beneficial for him in his career. I think that cements him into that upper echelon of, you know, not saying he's better than Roman or he's the GOAT, but he can be put up into that conversation because it's more of a passionate, like I said, Cena's about the business. It's about passing the torch to someone that's not carrying the company, but I mean, he does a lot. Like, he shows up every single week, house shows, like dark matches, like he's always there.
Yeah. And this the thing is, like, he's, how can I put it really? He shows up in that no matter what. And it might be upsetting to people to, you know, to Cody not retaining and Cody basically going into next year's WrestleMania, is it? But as I've been saying, we need to sort of get over it because it's happening. This the thing is, TKO and that and WWE have that one, you know, it's that one there, you know. So have a look here at some of the other comments that we got here. So I will just go through Russell Faith. Hey everyone, hey Russell Faith. Thank you for popping by again. So have a look here. Modest music. The thing I don't like is doing these long reigns, make you not care about the matches until pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Rumble, Mania. I agree, but it's WWE see it as long reigns means that you're a better champion, and that's what they want to do. And if it means it upsets the fans along the way, it means it upsets the fans along the way. But this the thing is, people are saying this online, and this is why Nick Khan made it perfectly clear. They're not listening to what fans want. You know, they don't care. They know what they want. They've got their storylines planned out. They know what's making them money. And at the end of the day, Cody still makes them money. And that once Cody stops making them money, that's when he'll drop the title. This is the thing, you know. It's whichever one comes before, whether it's that storyline where he drops it, comes before, or whether he stops making that company money. And at the end of the day, he's not going to stop making them any money at the moment. This is the problem, but see. So, let's have a look. Again, modest. I'm perfectly fine with either of those two as well. These multi-year reigns are getting old already, just my opinion. I mean, yeah, like what we said, they are getting old, but it's what they want. You know, it's what they want, basically.
He's
we've got
making
Gwen.
he's making money on merch. Like
He's making money. That's the thing. Cody's making money and stuff. And this is the other thing as well, is he's recently just re-signed his massive deal with Wheatley's Vodka. So whilst he's re-signing with Wheatley's, whilst he's got that one on, and they've obviously got that sponsorship deal there, that's making WWE more money. That's making TKO more money. And whilst they're getting the money in, they don't care. You know, when they stop seeing a drop in ticket sales and when they stop seeing a drop in fans and stuff like that attending their shows, then they'll start listening to the fans. But until then, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit what fans want at all. That's the thing, you know. Oh yeah, we've already covered this one. So Cena hasn't won in like forever. That's that one there. Right. What's this one? Gwen as well. How many torches did you guys have to pass? I mean, that's the thing. It's moving on to the new generation. It's every so often they do generation. They pass them on to the new stars, and I can see if the plans are still correct, is NXT is going to get gutted, so that's going to be your next generation of stars for it. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's like that. What's this? Cam, the drip orders. Yo, Nick Elders, please address this. It's from the car. Oh, it's from the cord. The devil will rise again, but who will survive between him and the Viper? That was the plan which I heard. That was meant to be Aleister Black.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the plans that one.
I like the match. I just right now, like bringing him back because KO is hurt. Like I don't think Alistair can afford a loss, and I honestly don't think Randy should lose either. So I don't like it. I don't like it right now.
No, yeah, I don't think we need that match right now. No, that's not needed at all, is it really? If you ask me. Right, what else we got here? So Mr. Crack 2.0, the Invisible Man, keeps saying, hello, will Ornaments be released soon? I have no clue. Nobody knows who's being released when or whatever. You know, it's not. That's not something that anyone like myself or any sources would have, because releases get done when they get done. That's the thing at the end of the day. You know, WWE decide when to do the releases, and if they want to release somebody, they'll release them. They can literally ring up and release somebody whenever, you know, but it's nobody's place to come and say this person's going to get released, this person's going to get released, because that's not information that anyone would ever have. And if somebody turns around and says to you like, oh yeah, you know, I've got this information about this person being released, it's fake, because they would not know that before TKO, before the actual releases happen. And it's not, you know, it's not great saying that on there. Gwen, what's the status of Roman's contract? He's supposed to run out this year at WrestleMania. He'll resign. I can sense he's going to resign. They're going to play it into obviously the storyline, and that now they've probably already resigned him. I literally have no idea, but if he resigns, he's probably going to be doing less dates than what he's doing now, and he already only does like 2 or 3 pay-per-views a year now. So if he's coming to an end of his WWE time frame, and if anything, I can see him signing what I like to call the Brock Lesnar contract, where it's that massive multi-million-dollar contract, and he only needs to show up like 2 or 3 times a year. If anything, you know, he'll be used for the big shows like that. If anything,
I have one thing on the Roman thing, so I agree with you. I think he's already signed. I think they're just not talking about it. They're not gonna anybody like us, like you, me, anybody that gets inside information, like they're not just gonna tell us who's gonna get. You know, we don't know who's getting released until it happens. But with Roman, like I said earlier, he's the GOAT, but he's on the back end of his he's on the back end of his career. So I'm just gonna put this out here. I could be 100% wrong. I don't know if we ever see Roman Reigns as champion again. I don't. I think he's more about his family. We got Hikuleo coming in. Like, there's going to be more people coming in. So, like, he could win it one more time, but that's why I said everybody needs to just savor what we saw for 1,300 plus days, because he's never going to do that again. It's just not going to happen.
No, yeah, I do personally think that that he's going to be, and again I hate to say this, but I personally think that he is going to be gone soon, and that this is coming near the end of everything, and Roman and that sort of like being that champion and doing that way. I agree with you. I personally don't think we're going to see Roman as champion again, not anytime soon anyway. Not personally.
I think he beats Rock. I do think he beats Rock. I do think that they have to have that match. They've been putting it off way too long. I think I think Rock has two matches left in him. I think maybe one with Cody. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think it will. But Rock Roman has to happen, and I think that's where Roman wins. And I think Rock's done after that, and I think Roman will be done shortly after that. Honestly, I think he's going to go to Hollywood.
Yeah, personally, I agree with you. I do truly believe that we're getting that basically like as well, that they're going to just literally just sort of that he's going to be gone after that. I mean, I completely agree. What else we got here? Modest. Any news on any possible major signings coming to WWE? Not really. It's just the ones that have obviously been mentioned, like Rusev. I say Rusev, Miro, Rusev. I can see the Raw after WrestleMania being Rusev Day. If anything, that would be the one there. Black, again, there was rumors that he was going to be in this WrestleMania match with Randy Orton, so we don't know whether it's going to be him, whether it's going to be Nick Aldis, whether it's going to be anyone else. But if anything, he's going to be in possibly the Raw after WrestleMania as well. That's basically the names there. I don't know of any other big names that are coming back in or that are coming in or anything like that. But what other big names really are there, aren't there? To be fair, major signings or anything. I can't really think of any other major signings, to tell you the truth.
I mean, besides Miro and Aleister Black, and then they signed Ray Phoenix. Like, I don't know. I can't really think of anybody else. I mean, I know they mentioned maybe Hikuleo coming. I think they may do some sort of NXT for him, but I haven't heard anything big. There is one big name that I was told yesterday that could possibly appear at Evolution, and that is Saraya Page.
Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, this is the other thing as well. We're not going to go on to that actually and talk about Evolution like that. This is another classic example. WrestleVotes turned around and said that we were meant to be getting the announcement for that coming up, and that never happened. We didn't get that. We didn't get that announcement that was needed, and that for Evolution. So I mean, this is the other thing as well, is that got leaked out and we didn't get that announcement, did we? That's that's the thing, which was slightly annoying, but still,
I still think it happens. I still think it happens, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got asked on this one earlier, sort of like, when do we think it's going to be and stuff like that, and I personally think it's going to be around
July.
Around July, August time, something like that, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's going to be sort of any later than that or whatever. Like, I don't think they would be able to do it any later than that, to say the truth. I don't know. I personally don't know this.
I mean, June, July, like no later. They still got 2 shows to announce it. I think the best point you made throughout the show about TKO is look what Liv Morgan did for the company. And nobody's really talking about, they threw, she was supposed to go into Mania as champion and face Rhea.
Yeah.
And now she's probably, if you have common sense, she's probably gonna be with Raquel facing Lyra and Bailey at WrestleMania for the tag titles. Like, that's awful for Liv.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
She carried the women's division last year, and That's terrible.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Let's have a look at. Okay, yeah. So one of the names that was brought up then is Roman's not leaving yet. Roman's still got a couple of years in him, but it's nothing to do with his condition. He's basically just coming to the end of his thing. I'll trust that now. It's crack. So I'm look modest. I would personally love to see Hammerstone and Joe Hendry eventually come to WWE. Hammerstone has gone to MLW, as far as I'm aware. He signed a contract with MLW, so I don't think he's coming in anytime soon. And Joe Hendry, his contract expires this year, I think, so he might come in as well, but I'm not sure, to tell you the truth on that one. It's possible. Yeah, I think that's all the news in that then for this week. Obviously, I will just say, because we've got a couple of minutes left. So next week is going to be a pretty busy week for us. We have our EVP Xero show as normal next Thursday at 6 p.m. Make sure you tune on in, because that will be our WrestleMania prediction show, and there'll probably be a lot of WrestleMania news by then as well. And heck, I might even provide a couple of spoilers in next week's show as well, if we are lucky. We've also then got on Friday 2 back-to-back live things, and for the first time in a while, I'm doing my other show Uncut as live at 9 a.m. next Friday morning. Now, I understand that's early, but I do believe it's the holidays, because obviously it's Easter Friday, so people should be home. So we have Uncut at 9 a.m. EST time next Friday, and the EVP CJP will be joining us on that one. Along with Leo, and it'll be myself and Bobby. And then we are going straight over to Bobby's Breakdowns channel, where we'll be doing another live show straight afterwards at 10 a.m. EST, or around that time it'll be, however long we decide to keep talking for and Uncut. And then of course then it goes into WrestleMania itself. And I will just say as well now, this is an exclusive, is after WrestleMania, the Thursday after then, we are going to start having guests come back, and some of them are very well known in this community. I'll mention it, but we are having on some of the ladies from Acknowledge the Dynasty joining us on the 24th of April. So don't forget to come and tune in to our show. Don't forget to come and tune into the show then, and give them a warm welcome on the show as well. One last thing, DKO Energy, do not forget about that. And we are running an absolutely amazing competition at the moment, which is only available until the 1st of May. And that is if you buy any product from our website, including including the gummies, which are only $8.99, because I've had a few people come around and say, oh, you're going to pay $40 odd or whatever it is. No, you don't. Any product, you can buy a t-shirt, you could buy, you could buy a t-shirt for like $5-6. You could buy the gummies for like $8 or whatever. Or heck, if you really wanted to, you could buy some of the protein and stuff like that for like $40-50. Buy any product, leave a review on Twitter, or leave a review on your social medias about it. With a picture of yourself either using the product, or just a picture of the product if need be. Advertise it that way. Find our post on the @DKO Energy account. Do that in by the 1st of May, and we will be selecting one lucky winner to win 2 tickets to next year's WrestleMania. Now,
in my hometown.
Yeah, in CJ's hometown. Now, I've had people turn around and say, oh, what row is this and stuff like that, and stuff, but that's a secret. We'll be revealing that closer to the time. Now, it's the whole thing of, this is an opportunity that cannot be missed. Go on, get those, but, go on, enter our competition, because this will be a once-in-a-lifetime competition, and come the 1st of May, it'll be no longer available, so you don't have long to do that. Like I said, visit dkoenergy.com to be able to do that. And yeah, good luck with that. And again, Also, as well, keep an eye out on some of our affiliates page because you might just be able to get a 10% discount code as well if you're lucky. That's me this week, done. I'm going to pass you over to my co-host, the EVP CJP, to do his little ending bit, and then we'll be done for the week. So over to you, CJ.
Yeah, thanks guys. You know, it was great to be off for 2 weeks, but I'm glad to be back. Thanks Xero for bearing with me for 2 weeks. And I am one of those affiliates, so it's on my X page. Obviously, you can see it across the screen at the bottom. You get 10% off if you use EVP Wrestling as your promo code. Last but not least, do not miss Main Event Mania. It will take place on it's going to be the biggest X Space ever. It's going to be at 3 p.m. on April the 20th. I will be challenging for the IWC Promo Battle Championship against the paper champion, the wannabe OTE Edward, and someone else that I can't reveal at this time, but you guys will absolutely love it when you see it. So stay tuned for that because the EVP is going to win and he's going to get a title back. And I'm going to win the WrestleMania ticket too. So it's going to be a great year for the EVP.
Yeah, well, like I said, if you don't want that to happen, then come on over and buy that DK Energy stuff, and we will see you next week for our WrestleMania edition of the EVP Xero show. This is Xero signing out for the week. Have a good week and goodbye.